Hi, and welcome to this week's live show with me, Mark Thompson, and as ever, Tim in sunny Scotland. Actually, he's wearing a hoodie today, so it's not that sunny.
Well, it's actually warmer than it has been. It's been like down to about 2 degrees this week. So much for the summer. But sunny today. Lovely day.
Just before we came on, we were just chatting. I sent Tim to a site that I'd created yesterday, and he went, "Wow, that looks good." And it's almost like I've got design skills, isn't it? Yeah. Yep. Relay that, mate. Once again, Relay that came up with the images. So, yeah. We shall reveal that all next week because it's part of the new affiliate course we're doing next week. So this week we were due to have Uncle Dave on. But unfortunately, Uncle Dave's made the mistake of having a customer.
Oh, damn.
And the customer wants to talk to Uncle Dave now. So unfortunately, he can't be on. So we'll do that next week.
So that was like 2 minutes ago. So we've had 2 minutes preparation time for this call, which is actually 4 times longer than we normally have. So we'll probably come out with some absolute trash today. No, it'd be good. So I've got a few things, just 1 or 2 little things which I've kind of picked up over the week. I suppose the main one I picked up is more of a nerdy thing to do with like Google SEO stuff. And it's structured data. So if you've not come across structured data before, it's basically how Google pulls in information from your website. So like if you run an e-commerce store, you can set up the structured data so it shows the name of the product, the price of the product. If you've got 5-star rating on there, it'll pull that. It'll pull the description, all those kind of things, and an image. That's your structured data, and it pulls that in and it puts it into the search results, onto Google. So that's just one example of it. There's many different types of structured data out there, and the one that they've just added support for is how-tos and frequently asked questions.
That's useful.
Yeah, it is. And it's like, so you can actually, say, for example, if you've got a how-to article, you can create a structured snippet on that particular page that will be pulled into the Google organic results, potentially. And so what it would do is it would show at the top of the screen. So if somebody types in a question like how to bake a sponge cake, for example, and you've got structured data about how to bake a sponge pudding cake or whatever, it will pull that in across and show it on the Google organic rankings. Now, there's a good side to this and a bad side to this. So part of it is like, the good part is you might get a structured snippet shown at the top of the Google rankings, which is great because it's basically position 0. You're going to get like potentially more clicks coming through to your website. The downside is that if the information on the structured snippet is too good, that people don't actually need to then go and visit your page because they've got all the information on through the Google results, so they just never leave Google. So there's a bit of a swings and roundabouts with whether you actually bother to do it or whether it's worthwhile. But basically, there's now support for this within the Search Console. So if you're not using the Search Console, strongly recommend going through. If you do a search for google.com / I think it's console or Search Console or something like that.
Or Webmaster Tools works as well.
Webmaster Tools, yeah, it's basically you can go through there. Well, and it will show you what structured snippets you've got, what errors that you might have on your existing structured data and all that kind of thing, and you can fix things through that. So that's my one little bit of SEO news.
I mean, the great thing about these structured snippets is they tend to rank just below the adverts. So it's an easy way of getting from the first page up to the top really quickly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've got a nice little tip this week. And that is, if you're doing Facebook Lives using your phone, so not that you would do that, Tim, because that's way too interactive with people. There's actually you can buy some teleprompters that overlay over the screen. So you can type out what you want, and you can just hold it up, and it looks like you're looking directly at the camera, but you're actually reading your script, and it actually gives a really good effect. So yeah, that's my little tip for the day. I'll actually post a link somewhere later to the one I'm using. It's really good. Right, today we want to talk, as we're sort of struggling for something to talk about, we're going to talk about Shopify. So I know we got a good friend of mine, Mr. Anders Brown, on here, and he has got a very successful Etsy store. And I think he's got some questions about Shopify. So, Mr. Brown, if you care to type in the comments your questions, we will start answering them. Because he wants I'm going to let you.
If you're gonna give yourself a pseudonym, like at least give yourself something cool.
Well, that is quite cool. This is a mid-Danish Mac bloke.
Dear.
Oh yeah.
So without obviously giving away the game, what does he? What kind of niche area is he selling on Etsy?
I'll proudly tell you, he sells mid-century furniture.
Ah, cool.
So he gets all the sort of G-plan and Danish designer stuff, and he sells it to. So he buys it in Yorkshire or Somerset or something like that, and then sells it to America and Japan and Korea, and whatever. Okay, very simple question. Why use Shopify?
Why use Shopify?
That's a good start, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose it is. It's basically is a way of controlling your own environment. Doesn't matter where you actually sell your stuff. If you sell it like on Amazon, if you're an eBay seller, or if you're on Etsy, it's somebody else's platform, and you basically have to abide by their rules. So you're basically controlled by the constraints of that platform. Now, there's an upside to obviously using Etsy and eBay and Amazon in that they have traffic. So they have people with their credit card ready. They're looking for something to buy. That's one of the great benefits of using Amazon, Etsy, and eBay. But you're obviously paying them a premium for that, because you'll pay them a percentage of the sale of the transaction, but also you're basically at the mercy of whether you actually decide to follow their terms of service or not at Etsy, and then they get banned. If Amazon or eBay or Etsy decide to change their terms of service for whatever reason, they just suddenly decide that they don't like one particular type of merchant on there, or they don't like you for whatever reason, they can ditch you like today. They can close your business down today. Now with Shopify, the biggest difference with Shopify is that you own it. You own the website, you own the customer, whereas with essentially with eBay and more with Amazon, you don't own the customer at all. You're basically just putting a transaction through. I'm not sure quite how it works with Etsy. So but certainly with Amazon, you do not own the customer at all. You get very little information. You barely get a delivery address from Amazon these days, which you don't get any email address or any other caught up with them and build a relationship with them. At least with Shopify store, you can start growing your own brand and your own platform, own the customer, have a way of following up with them and encouraging them to come back for more. And that for me is one of the biggest reasons why you would want to do it in basically at the same time. So if you're running an Etsy store or an eBay store or an Amazon store, you would always run and build your own site alongside it at the same time. Because you never know. It might be that eBay suddenly decides that they want to buy Etsy, and then they change all of the terms of service to eBay's more stringent terms of service, and then decide that they don't like your type of product that you're selling, or they think you're making too much money from the product, so they start charging you a higher percentage fees, higher rates, which certainly is something that Amazon has done with categories, that they start charging you different amounts, storage fees as well if you're using Amazon FBA and stuff like that. But yeah, certainly they are having control over your own business and your own destiny. That's why I always recommend people set up a Shopify store. Does that answer the question?
And well, it probably does. But the other thing is, what I've noticed, what I've read this week is Amazon, not Shopify Flow. So whereas 2 months ago, Drip decided that no, we're going for all the Shopify customers and stuff like that. Shopify have now released their own version called Shopify Flow, which will probably shoot Drip right in the face. Not a bad thing.
Yeah, to a certain degree, and I think there's, Shopify has done quite a good job of staying away from all of the non-core elements of running. So Shopify created a shopping cart and the ability for you to create a website where you can sell your product. That's essentially like what they created, and they do that really, really well, and they do it super securely. They don't get involved in things like a CRM. They don't get involved in subscription billing. They don't get involved with themes or anything like that. They let other people. It's kind of like the WordPress model, but they've done it in a just purely for a shopping environment way. Now, I've not really heard very much about Flow. I've heard like little things about it, and I've not really taken much notice because I use Klaviyo as my CRM to enable me to manage the communication with the customer.
So a question from Ian. Any thoughts on Fresh Store Builder for Amazon affiliate stores?
Interesting. Amazon's affiliate, Amazon has a bit of an interesting sort of relationship with their affiliates. One of the biggest challenges you have with, I don't know much about Fresh Store Builder, to be honest with you. I've heard it in passing, but Amazon's relationship with their affiliates is pretty fraught because there's a lot of terms of service that you have to satisfy. Just whacking up a review site is not necessarily going to net you result that you think you're going to get. So I think there's and also one of the challenges with cookies as well is starting to become more of an issue. And I think it's this week or last week, Google Chrome basically announced. So basically in favor of using other methods to track like an individual. So it's person tracking rather than this pixel that sits on your website or it sits on your on the computer of on the browser of the person who's surfing.
I mean, my view on that is there's no way that Google would restrict cookie use if they didn't have an alternative. I know Facebook have been freeing up their customer IDs recently, so you can actually access those. So you can do customer ID tracking, which is slightly different to cookie tracking. I've got no idea, way above my pay grade to work out how it actually works. Yeah. But
I think because, and to a certain degree, cookies have become a bit of an archaic structure. Certainly, when you consider that most of us are and the cookies don't necessarily particularly work very well with a mobile device. The session length is different basically on a mobile device. Again, beyond my sort of tech nerdy sort of level of thing, but the whole concept of cookies is going to start diminishing. So things like having an affiliate, running your affiliate program and things like that. It's one of the things I changed about 2 years ago actually with Lean Greens, is I started instead of relying 100% on cookies and for tracking for our affiliates to be able to track their sales and all that kind of thing, I started using discount codes. So the discount code is connected to an affiliate rather than just relying on the affiliate link with the cookie in it. To place a cookie on somebody's computer, because that became so reliable. Go on.
So I want to share something while we're on this. Here we go. Let me show that. Stick this up there.
Do you want to close Ian's question?
Yeah, get rid of that question. Right, so this is the stats from, firstly, the Facebook ads mobile phone app is excellent.
Yes.
I actually prefer it to desktop because it's a lot easier to find information on there. Yeah. This is the stats from an ad I was running last week, okay, from one ad set. And the interesting thing is, if you have a look there, link clicks from, this is, by the way, a $1 ad. So, I mean, this is what it's been doing recently. Actually, it might be for the last month, but whatever. It's a $1 ad anyway. 37 clicks from mobile newsfeed, which pretty much is more than anything else. And the other one would be interesting, Instagram feed. That's interesting. 25 cents a click.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but the mobile newsfeed, okay, it's expensive, but it's a hell of a lot of clicks there.
Yeah.
So it's mobile is definitely where everything is.
So I was just going to have a quick look at device on my stuff, on my ads at the moment.
While you look at that then, these, I've been talking the last couple of weeks about these $1 ads I'm running. Well, they've done over $1,000 in sales at $1 a day. So since, I think I started just at the beginning of May, or maybe just before the beginning of May. So
just go over
well worth doing these.
Yeah, go over again the sort of rough structure that you're running with that, because that's quite interesting. Sort of.
Right. So what I'm doing is basically I've got what's called the one that's working well is a hot sevens, and those are for the last anybody who's been to any one of my properties or engaged with me in any way or watched any videos for more than 50% of the time or more than 10 seconds, they go into a custom audience. So that's basically anybody who's read anything, looked at anything, been on any of my sites for more than 30 seconds and go into an audience. And then I run $1 ads promoting different things to them. So I promote the foundation, I promote Thrivecar, I promote ConvertBox. Pretty much anything I promote, I put back in front of these people who are already engaged somewhat in my site. And the key to it is having that 30-second delay. That 30-second delay means that you're only ever talking to people who are genuinely spent time on your site, rather than somebody who's just come on, looked at the site and gone after 5 or 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. I knew we'd get an update from Ian. FB works by tracking the person across all devices and the browsers, as it's very likely you'll either be visiting via inbuilt and a big crap FB browser, or have the FB session cookie somewhere in your device. Yeah. I mean, look, what I'm confused about, and we will have to try and work this out, is how the customer IDs work. Because Facebook, rather than track by customer IDs all the time, they now track by customer IDs as well. So every person has a unique ID. So it must use cookies of some type, but maybe it's not using cookies on our side.
Yes.
It's using cookies on their side.
Yeah, I think that's basically the difference. And it's like, to a certain degree, it's the devil that you can control versus the devil that you can't control. And, because we can control cookies on our computers by deleting them or clearing them or whatever, or not accepting them. Yeah. If you have accepted the terms of service of Facebook, have to accept the fact that they're going to track the stuff that you do, your activity online.
Yeah, there's no way that on earth that Google would have stopped tracking cookies if they didn't have a better way of doing it.
Well, no, it's ultimately obviously trying to get people to run advertising through, and pay for advertising through their ad platform. It's the same for Amazon. Amazon of trying to do their own thing with advertising and being able to track people across that. So they just want for business owners like you and I, and brand owners, they're wanting people to essentially pay for driving traffic at your thing. So that's basically the end result of it. The whole sort of doing this and creating, getting organic traffic and stuff like that, it's not necessarily going to be a long-term goal. One of the things that Mark does very well, and something that I've got better at over the years, is ultimately, if you can get somebody onto an email list, you still own that list. You own the conversation. So you can essentially retarget them as long as you've got their email address. So still today in 2019, getting and collecting email addresses is probably the best, the highest value asset that you can own, for all of your efforts. So make that one of the primary focuses of all of your advertising efforts. Is you're either trying to make a sale or you're trying to get a contact, and the contact being a email address.
Yeah. Just preparing something here. Let me just do
what Mark does, which is have a whole bunch of email flows, and which basically enable you to continue to sell and to put different offers in front of people. Obviously, being sensible about it and not being a dick, and just basically spamming the hell out of people. But yeah, that's the outcome you want.
Right, let me share another screen while we're on this type of thing. Here we go. Make sure we've got that. This is the autumn dial list. Okay, so next week we're running a 7-day affiliate marketing course, and this is what we're actually going to be covering. So basically, day one, which I've already written, is why you should consider doing affiliate marketing. Okay, pretty simple. It's a cash flow. Okay, I mean, this month I've covered all my expenses just from affiliate income. Which is the first month ever, it's all covered it, and that's up from $100 a month last February, around about $100 a month last February. Now it's up to covering all my expenses. What to promote? I mean, so on day two we're going to talk about what should you promote. Now there's a lot of people go, oh yeah, I don't want to do internet marketing type related stuff. But the thing is, everyone listening to this probably uses internet marketing related stuff.
Yep.
Okay. So you have access to screenshots and everything that you need. You don't have to do internet marketing related stuff to internet marketers. There are people who own restaurants. There are real estate agents who can use these tools. So by thinking a little out of the box, you can promote, like, for example, right? I've earned over $1,000 commission from Active Campaign from somebody who sells shops. He buys businesses and sells them. Right? I was writing about Active Campaign. He emailed me and said, Mark, can this be used for non-online businesses? I have a physical business. I buy and sell businesses. I went, yeah. Jump on a call. Jumped on a half an hour call. Next thing, I had $1,000 commission landed in my Active Campaign account.
Nice.
So, and that's just going the extra step.
Yeah.
But not just going, oh yeah, internet marketers need to buy internet marketing stuff. No, anyone can buy. Relay that thing I've been using for doing images. I look like a bloody designer when I use it. But there's so many people. Local bars. I could go to local bars, right? Send them emails, show them, make up an image, say, click here. You can get this same tool yourself. It's then you get your nice little recurring income every month. Then we're looking at the overview model on day 3, which is basically it's about a 4 or 5 step system. I mean, I've made it simple because I don't like confusing stuff because I get confused myself. So then we broke that into 3 days. We got day 1. Let me just go. Let me spoil it all, shall I? Because no one's going to be watching this anyway. Day 1, we're going to talk about contextual links and relevant links, okay? And creating a list of all the tools you use. Actually, that's moved. That's gone up to day 2. Day 4, build a blog, utilize your existing blog. How to get a free DR93 site, Okay, if domain rating is one of the things that makes you rank on Google, right? I'm going to show you how you could actually put an affiliate link on a free DR93 site. How easy would that be? Just create 3 long-term posts. I've got a post that was written in 2016, and it's had, I think, about 60 clicks, 70 clicks this month, all on an affiliate link. Short-term posts, specific opt-ins, pretty links, contextual links. Just to work out what contextual links is now. No, I'm joking, I know. Drive traffic using $1 a day method. My favorite method of advertising and doing basically driving traffic at the moment is $1 a day. Even if you've got 10 of them, it only feels like you're doing $1 a day. Revive post method. Email using footers to advertise your stuff. Retarget with offers. That's day 6, basically. Basically, what I'm doing every day to generate sales. And they'll be coming out of 7 days next week. So if you're not signed up yet, go to here, and because I'll be doing it there. And yeah, that's about it, really.
So anybody who's like, no, it's the foundation or pro, there is absolutely no good reason why you shouldn't be doing this, because ultimately it's as Mark says, it pays for his boats and hose, baby. All of his monthly expenses are covered. I
was going to be on a catamaran tomorrow.
Really? So you are actually going to be on a boat?
Boats and hose, mate. Boats, hose, and beers.
Yeah, that's it. So but things like I know we've talked about this quite a lot before, but the affiliate stuff that even the level I run it at, it doesn't quite cover my monthly expenses, but it's an extra chunk of cash that comes in every single month without fail, and it pays for a bunch of bills. It means that I can forget about our electricity bill and our internet bills and my mobile phone bills and all that. They're all covered. Yeah. I don't have to worry because of the affiliate commissions we earn every single month, and that's why you want to set this up, because it means it doesn't matter what other business that you're in, you set this kind of thing up, and it doesn't take a huge amount of like time and energy and effort to manage and create. It's not a big task. It's not like a 6-week kind of like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week kind of like effort. You don't have to hustle your face off to actually get this thing to get going. But it's something that will keep, it means that whatever other business you're in, if that goes completely tits up, it doesn't matter. You've got your affiliate commission coming in every month.
So there we go. Having built our own WordPress site, so no need for a Shopify store, what would be your thoughts on trying to move our customer base from Etsy, which targets the traffic for us, to our own site?
Yeah.
Good question.
Build your own website, WordPress website. And that's actually the, I say it's the quickest and easiest way. It's not necessarily the quickest and easiest. It's more like it's the cheapest way. Shopify, to set up Shopify to start with, especially when you've got no sales, going through your Shopify store feels like an expense, and it is. But so I'll cover that bit first. WordPress, you'll get to a point with WordPress where it will drive you nuts, because it'll break every 3 days, because you've got so many plugins on it and all that kind of stuff. Shopify, you just build it and forget about all of the tech stuff ever. So that's one side of it. Thoughts on moving people from custom base for Etsy. So the only thing I would say with your customer base, it depends on how much data Etsy will actually allow you. So if you're doing the delivery, if you're doing the shipping out of the product to the end customer, you will have their it's likely you'll have their physical address, so their home address where you're shipping it to, which is cool. So that's one part of it. If you've got access to their email address as well, i.e. you don't have to go through Etsy to actually communicate with them, then that's the best way of actually, you put that email list. So you take all of your customers who've ever bought from you, and you take that email list and you go stick it into something like a Klaviyo or a Active Campaign CRM service, so an email software. Ask Mark for a link; he'll sort you out with a link. And basically, you put all of the contacts in there, and then you start communicating with them on a regular basis for the kind of products that you're selling. If you're selling furniture and you're acquiring furniture on a regular basis, this is what's come in this week. These are the things that might be of interest to you because you've bought from us before. And instead of buying from us through Etsy, come buy through our Shopify store or WordPress site or whatever it is. Go buy through there instead, and we can give you a 5% discount, because that's essentially, if you're paying Etsy 15% or whatever it is commission, you can give them a 5 or 10% discount just to get them moved across to being a customer on your own site.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, then interact with people on. I know you're on Facebook as well, so interact with people on Facebook, get them across to your site, and get them on a list. Create something like a report on 5 best mid-century Danish designers. Right, who to look for, what to look for in mid-century furniture, that type of thing.
So I saw an example which I thought was brilliant. There's a guy in the UK. And I came across him because I was looking at different cars, and he has he only sells coupes. So he sells like the BMW Z4M coupe, he sells the Nissan 350Z coupe, he sells Porsche Boxsters with the hard top, the Porsche Caymans, those type of thing. That's all he concentrates on, is just those types of 2-seater sports car, kind of like coupe type things. Really, really good market to be in. And he just, all he does is he has a Facebook page, and the Facebook page every week, what he'll do is he'll just say, this is the stock that we have this week. And it's normally only about 7 or 8 cars that he has there. But he has this Facebook page that he has thousands of people following him, basically just to look at what stock he's got in this week. And whenever he gets a new car in, he takes a load of photographs, he sticks up on the Facebook page, interaction and engagement. He has an audience on Facebook. Now, one thing he doesn't do is he doesn't have an email list, which is kind of like an annoying thing, because I was like, well, if I gave you my email address, you could just send me your stock list every week, tell me what you've got in. That would be the cool thing. And you actually have the engagement, you have access to them there that way. But that's one thing you probably want to do, is start a Facebook page of people who like that kind of furniture. It's like, you are an expert in that type of Danish design, like furniture. Create a page all about that and just drive people to that. As I said the other week, I pay for likes for people to say that they like lean greens, which is the most ridiculous thing. But we have 25,000 people who follow us on our Facebook page now. And we're paying sort of like, anywhere between 5 pence and 30 pence for a like. And it's a way of just building audience. You control the audience rather than relying on Etsy all the time. But then, all of the other things of, when you've got that audience, move them onto an email list as well, so you can continue to communicate to them off of Facebook, so away from Facebook. So you actually have like a, how would I describe? It's kind of like the early bird notification list of new stock that comes in. That I would be setting that up, because I sign up to an email list, and you'll be the first person to know about, like, when we get these new chairs in, or when we get this, like, whatever in. You will be the first to know before I post up on Etsy, and before I post up on, like, Facebook and all this kind of stuff. My email list always gets told first. So that's a way of actually selling the email list as such, because people
that's a good idea, because then you can actually sell stuff even before you've restored it or polished it.
Yeah. It's not been cleaned up. I've just taken a quick snap of it as it's come off the back of the van. Like, I will do our normal, like, restoration or whatever you do to them just to clean it up, and like as soon as it's ready, we'll send it out to you, kind of thing. For me, that's the easiest kind of businesses to run, because there's people who have a passion for that sort of stuff, and they will snap your hand off as soon as you've got like the latest thing in.
A couple of interesting comments from Ian there. A useful content upgrade, insert in the package you send out how to care for your furniture. Just do a printer sheet, how to care for your furniture, with a link to your website where they can sign up for more stuff. A sticker on the invoice is good. He mentioned that. Sticker Mule have been running a deal on their stickers all this week. I think it ends today. Sticker Mule run deals on their stickers all the time.
Yeah.
If you miss it today, there'll be one along like a London bus.
Yeah.
But there you go. That's Sticker Mule. I've still got 100 of those. No idea where to put them. Yeah.
No, actually, one of the things which I thought was quite interesting, which I know a lot of furniture stores completely miss, which is exactly as Ian's suggesting, is kind of like, the insert with, or Mark suggested, the how to care for your product kind of thing. And it's like, get them on a subscription for like, buying a bunch of like, leather care or wood care or whatever. And it's like, get them onto a subscription, get your customers onto a subscription for that. And so you ship out every quarter, you'll send them out some new stuff to, care for their furniture, because obviously they want to care for their furniture. The new stuff that they've got, sell them the whatever spray or like, stuff to rejuvenate, like, ancient leather, and you've chosen this leather butter because it's like, made from, bee's butt or something. I don't know. Whatever I don't know.
Whatever bullshit you can come up with.
But that's an ideal way of getting a recurring income from your customers, from your existing customers, is going, well, I'll sell you the care kit that, like, we'll just bill you every quarter for it. And, here's the instructions of how to use it. Away you go.
Yeah. And then you can send them out a list of all your new bits of furniture with that order.
Yep. There's so many different ways of doing that. Those kind of businesses are quite interesting to me, because it's like people go, oh well, they only buy a sofa and I never hear from them again. And it's like, well, why ever not? There is always a recurring billing element that is potential in pretty much every business. Yeah. And like, there's so many different ways of doing it. So if you're into dog care, dog grooming, where the dog comes in every 6 months for a brush, it's like, I'm surprised our dog groomers have not sold us all of like the care package, the brushes, the whatever, like that is recurring, a shampoo kind of stuff. It's like, well, why wouldn't you do that? The stuff that helps get rid of fox poo smell and stuff like that, and the sprays. It's like, get me on subscription for that stuff, because we use it all the time. We have a big ass dog that always rolls in fox poo.
Why?
Because he likes it. Because he's a muppet. That's why.
I'll tell you what. I mean, if only someone like, I don't know, one of the Hugo Boss could create fox poo for dogs. So you spray it on him. There you go. Yeah. Now you smell like fox poo.
Yeah. So don't dismiss, like, don't think that you're just a furniture all lifestyle of owning that product, those types of products, that potentially you could have, a subscription element to it as well. And for me, that means that you've got a consistent revenue that is consistently growing. Every time you get a new customer, it's like potentially another subscription customer that is, cash coming into your bank account from that person every quarter, rather than just that one and done sale. So yeah, don't dismiss it.
Cool. Good tips. Good advice. Right. So anyone got any more questions? If not, we'll call it a day. I'll get back to writing my course. I'm
looking forward to your course, actually.
Yeah, so am I. Great one.
I need a bit of a kick in the ass, to be honest with you, because I kind of stop and start with the affiliate stuff, and I know if I can put a few more little systems in place, it will make a huge difference. So,
as I said, like last February, I realised when we did that recurring billing 3-month sprint, I realized that, no, I'm not doing enough of this. My first 20 grand online was affiliate income.
Yeah.
That was one weekend.
Yeah.
So, I mean, then we can, and then from that, I mean, I started doing a little bit in March, April, May, June, July. It's towards the end of last year, I thought, actually, this is actually starting to take off a little bit. So I've just been focusing on a lot on it. And the course is designed to get everybody a 5K a month affiliate income.
And then we'd all be happy.
Yeah, then you can do whatever you want, because it's going to run and run and run. You set it up once and set and forget. Yeah. And then you can focus on things you really want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
When you've got that little support coming in.
Definitely. Cool. That was an interesting discussion. And it's always interesting talking about other businesses other than like internet marketing. And it's like, if you have, I kind of worry about is people don't share enough, and we're not going to give away the boat. We're not going to give away the ship, tell everybody what's going on, with your particular business and what your thing is. But it's like just a rough idea of what your business is on a day-to-day basis. So, we can then pick out different ways that you can potentially grow the revenue that you're already getting from your customers. Because that's sometimes you don't necessarily need the Facebook ads to create more customers. You just need to be able to amplify what you already get and amplify the frequency of the number of times that people buy from you. That's a lot of the time, that's all you need to do. You don't need a massive number of customers. You just need to, then Mark became a pro golfer.
The point is, Tim loves mountain biking. Right? And he's got lean greens. So he could spend all his time working on lean greens. Or he could work on lean greens, get a decent backup from affiliate income, and then add in a bit of cycling. And I wouldn't become a pro golfer if all my friends hadn't left. I just left with the numpties to play with. So I've given up golf at the moment. There's only numpties I can play with.
Yeah, I miss you. Oh dear. Yeah, the more affiliate income I can make, and the more stuff that I can make from the existing customers I already have, it means I can go and ride my bike more often. It's like I was riding on Tuesday morning, and this girl came up alongside me, and she's like, "Oh, what do you do for a living?"
Hang on, from behind, she came up alongside you.
Thank you. And she was like, what do you do for a living? And I was like, I run my own business. I have a nutrition brand that we sell like through Amazon and through our own website.
And she went, why aren't you faster?
Yeah, exactly. So is it a big business? And I was like, it's big enough. Big enough so I can come out and ride a mountain bike on a Tuesday morning. But you sometimes feel a bit embarrassed about like not doing the 9 to 5, but I was talking to a very good friend about this yesterday, and it's like we kind of get tied up with like we've got to be making like be the next 6 or 7 figure or 8 figure business. It's like, well, to be honest with you, I don't really need like to be a massive 8 figure business, like bringing in, because that means staff and like managing people, and it's like I earn enough to have the lifestyle I want. So if I can achieve that with some more affiliate stuff, then that makes my life a whole lot easier. I can work even less than I do now.
Yeah.
And that's really the ideal. I don't necessarily need the boats and the hose, baby.
Yeah, working less is the future.
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely.
Not humping furniture around.
All right. Anyway, that's enough for today. Thank you very much, guys. As if you're not already a member of Serious Marketers Only, the foundation link is somewhere below. Blah blah blah. Flash it up on the screen. members.seriousmarketersonly.com.
Yeah.
Make sure you join. That's where the affiliate stuff is going to be next week. So crack on.
And what else was I say? Yeah, thanks for listening. Next week we will have Dave on. We will do another tech corner with Dave.
Hey.
Dave's going to cover all the stuff he covered at Agency Transformation, Agency Transformation, I think it's called.
Because we love agencies.
Oh, we love agencies. We all want to be an agency. Right. Anyway, that's it, guys. All right. Hang on. Quick Timble comments.
I was about to leave.
There you go. AWS have a hard limit: 50 people in a company, up to 45, and doing 1 million per person. That's cool. That'd work.
Yeah. I actually, on that note, Kylie Jenner, okay, she has $1 billion. She's worth $1 billion. That woman, okay. Yeah. She runs a cosmetic company. She has 5 full-time members of staff.
Yeah.
$1 billion. 5 members of staff.
They're earning their money.
Yeah. But here's the thing: her business model is exactly the same as Lean Green's. And that's the bit which I go.
Did she copy you?
Yeah, she copied me. Yeah.
Bitch.
Yeah. She was only 14 when I started Lean Greens, which is the thing which makes me feel really like, oh shit, I've been taking too long over this.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, that's it. We're gone. Bye.
Bye.